Hello and welcome. I'm Chanel Childs with ChanelChilds.net, and I wanted to shoot this quick Periscope because, of course, we meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I wanted to talk to you today about developing the habit of persistence in your home-based business. Now, one of the things that I know for sure within my own personal life, hello and welcome out there burning for Jesus, one of the things I know for sure, whether it be in your home-based business, whether it be in your career, whether you're writing a book, whether you are going to preach a sermon, whatever it is that you're going to do in your life, whatever your calling is or whatever you want to do, hello and welcome out there. I'm grateful that you're all here. I'm Chanel Childs. Hello, good morning. God bless you too. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today is something that Napoleon Hill actually talks about in his famous book, Think and Grow Rich. Now, if you haven't already read this book, I highly recommend that you actually get a copy of it. Thank you for inviting your followers. I appreciate you. I highly recommend you get a copy of it. In many cases, you can find it for free online. Now, in this book, Napoleon Hill actually talks about one key thing that each and every one of us, every person in every walk of life really needs in order to become successful, right? Or in order to get to the next level, right? In order to reach whatever it is, whatever goal you're trying to achieve, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? And that thing that he actually encourages you and I to do is to develop the habit of persistence, right? Because number one, no matter what our business is, no matter what industry we're in, we all know that the people who stand up on stage and speak, or the people who are highly successful, like Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, Tony Robbins, I don't know, you name more. I mean, there's so many people out there that are successful, and it's not because they just got lucky. It's not because it just happened overnight. It's not because they just knew the right people, although knowing the right people is a good thing. It's good to know the right people, right? But the number one thing that they all have is the power of persistence, right? They kept on and they kept on going, even when hope grew dim, right? Even when it didn't look like they were getting any results. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Burning for Jesus. Even when they weren't getting any results, even when, I think one of my mentors who I haven't ever met, Tyler Perry, talks about one of his first plays that he had, in his when he first started directing plays, no one showed up. He had put together this whole play for people to come to, and no one came. I don't think anybody showed up. Well, if he would have just stopped right because no one came, if he would have, thank you so much for sharing this, I appreciate you. If he would have just said, you know what, no one showed up at this event, I'm just going to quit. Imagine if he would have done that. I mean, there are probably so many people whose lives wouldn't have been changed. There's probably so many people who would have never known, about who he was or what kind of message he was sharing, or, he speaks a lot about faith. So there's just a lot of things that, when you and I step out to achieve our dreams, and we step out in a way that says, you know what, no matter what, I'm doing this, I believe that things begin to happen, right? Doors begin to open, because a lot of people who are in the home-based business industry, a lot of people who are in the movie industry, they didn't necessarily have all the resources. They didn't have all the money when they got started out. They started out probably pretty slim, with slim to nothing, right? But it's when you and I decide to believe that we can do whatever it is that we're setting out to do, we've got to make the commitment and decide to persist. We've got to recognize that if we are willing to keep going, we will eventually win. Right? But most people will stop short. They'll say, well, I've been doing this for 2 months. I've been doing this for 3 years. One thing that one person who's Robert Kiyosaki, he's actually the author of the Rich Dad Poor Dad books, right? And he said, for home-based business owners out there, he said, you know what? You should stick with that business for at least 5 years. At least 5 years, because he knows that it's not easy. He knows that you're not going to get results overnight. He knows that you're going to have to press on even when there's no results. He knows that you're going to have to press on even when people tell you no, right? It's just like Napoleon Hill talks about in his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, in his chapter on persistence, right? I think it's chapter 9. He talks about a lady by the name of, I believe her name was Fannie Hurst, who struggled for years. She spent her days laboring and her nights hoping. And when hope grew dim, she didn't say, all right, Broadway, you win. She was like an actress or something. He's like, all right, you win. Oh, sure, go ahead and invite me. Absolutely. Absolutely. 8:30 a.m. What time zone are you in? But, she didn't say when hope grew dim, all right, Broadway, I'm going to go ahead and give up as a guest speaker to motivate the others. Oh, sure, I would love to do that. Are you on Facebook? Oh, Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Are you on Facebook? Okay. You want to look, if you click on my profile, you'll see my Facebook page, or you can even type your name down there if you want. Okay. Deshaun Smith. Okay. Got it. And if I don't hit you up today, then I will, then if you don't add me first, then I'll add you. Absolutely. I'd love to do that. And so one of the key things, that would be awesome, Deshaun. Absolutely. So one of the key things is to recognize that Fannie Hurst in Think and Grow Rich, she wasn't like, all right, people told me no when I went to go do Broadway. Awesome. I'd love to do that. She didn't, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. She didn't say when hope grew dim, when people told her no about acting on stage on Broadway, she didn't say, you know what? All right, Broadway, I'm just going to quit. She kept going and pounding the pavements for, I believe it was like 4 years or something. I don't even know how long, but she kept hitting that. She kept saying, you know what? I'm going to keep knocking. And eventually her door opened, right? Eventually the door opened. Even when I believe one of her, someone told her, you know what? You might as well not even do this. But she kept going anyway. And that's, I believe, the great secret, right? I think that's the secret to everyone's success. I truly do. And so if you and I want to achieve anything in our lives, anything in our business, whatever career you're with, whatever you're doing out there, you can do it. But you got to, number one, make the commitment and recognize that no one had the kind of results that you see today. You only see what Tony Robbins says. I believe he says something along the lines of, you'll be recognized in public for what you do in private, right? So people will begin to see you. The people that you see now, Oprah Winfrey was not always where she is. Tony Robbins was not always where he was, but it's because they kept on going. So whatever business you're in, whatever your career is, I want to encourage you today to keep on going. And I want to encourage you that when hope grows dim, when you're not getting any results, when it just looks like things are going downhill, I want to encourage you today to persist. Now, that doesn't mean change your plans, right? Because sometimes you and I have to change our plans if we want to get to the next level, right? Sometimes we have to begin to change our plans, right? So if your plans aren't working, maybe rework your plans, right? It doesn't necessarily mean just because your results are not, you're not getting the kind of results that you want, doesn't mean that you don't need to change your plans, because sometimes your plan may not be working and you just need to rework it, right? It may just be a clear indication that you need to change something, right? But the key for you and I believe it's the key for everyone, is to step out in faith and believe in your business, believe in your career, whatever it is you're going out there. If you are an actor, yes, absolutely. I love it, Deshaun. You're awesome. If you're an actor, if you're a singer, if you are in the home-based business industry, go after your dreams and stick with it. The thing that Napoleon Hill talked about in his chapter on persistence was you've got to have 4 things. And I'm going to go off memory here, but the first thing he says, you need to have a definite purpose, backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. So make sure that it's something that you actually desire, that you are passionate about. If you don't have a strong enough desire, build a stronger fire under, is what he says. Number 2, he says, have a definite plan expressed in continuous action. Oh yeah, I know, it is powerful. It's Napoleon Hill stuff. He's powerful. I love that man, Number 2, have a definite plan and express it in continuous action. Number 3, keep your mind closed tightly to all negative and discouraging influences, including those of family and friends and relatives, right? And number 4, develop a friendly alliance with at least 1 or more people who will assist you in the carrying out of your goals, right? So number 1, have a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Number 2, have a definite plan expressed in continuous action. Number 3, keep your mind closed tightly to any negative or discouraging influences, including those of family and friends. And number 4, have a friendly alliance with at least 1 or more people who will assist you in the carrying out of your goals. If you do those 4 things, if you stick to your business or if you stick to your dream, I believe that you will win. Now, I said before, if it doesn't mean that you don't need to work your plans. If you're doing something that's not working, then change it up. See what you need to change. Just play around with it, but don't quit, right? Just press on and decide to believe that every person that you see on TV, every highly successful entrepreneur, every person, absolutely, yes, every person you see, everybody that you know who's ever done anything great, those people persisted. They pressed on even in the dark days when most people give up. Most people say, I've been doing this for 2 months, so I quit. I have people that tell me, well, I'm not even getting any results. I'm like, well, are you even taking any action, right? You got to keep pressing on. You got to keep taking action. You're not going to get results if you don't take action, right? So I want to encourage you today to go after your dreams today. If you haven't read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, go get a copy of it. Exactly. He was homeless and living in a car. Absolutely. And he pressed on. He pressed on. I actually have another mentor. Maybe this is why I'm drawn to my current mentor, David Wood, because the same thing happened to him. David Wood was homeless, living in his car, living in his van. And now David Wood is now the founder of Empower Network. He's now helped, I don't even know how many people get, to the next level in their home-based business. I mean, it's one of those things where if he would have just stopped and quit, there's so many people who would have never even won their freedom. They would have never gotten to the level in their business that they would have gotten. And, we're all called to do something. And I believe that when we stick to that calling, when we press forward, people will be helped. People will be able to achieve their dreams. Persistence will bring forth breakthrough. It's the key that unlocks the door. Absolutely, it is. And most people quit because that's how we've been taught. We're like, well, I'll just quit. It's not working. But we just stop short. They always say, are you 3 feet from gold, right? It's like most people stop 3 feet from hitting that next level, from having their breakthrough. So I want to encourage you all today. I know, laughing out loud. I want to encourage you all today to step into your faith, believe in your dream, go after it, persist no matter what. Even if you're not getting the kind of results that you want, just rework your plans, but don't quit. Because I believe that if you're going after something that you truly believe in, that's something that you truly love doing, you have a burning desire for it, there's no reason why you won't win as long as you don't quit. Okay, perfect. Yeah, add me now. So we'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Of course, we meet here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'd love to chat with you, Deshawn. I'm looking forward to connecting with you on Facebook. So we'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bye for now. Have an awesome day.